Round 6 of the Rockstar Energy MX Nationals took riders to the replacement track at Bon Conseil, Quebec, just outside the city of Drummondville. When the first MX2 Moto took place, all riders blasted off on the sand-based but very tricky track. Number 223, rookie pro, that would be Jonah Brittens who got out front and even held off Moffenbauer as Moffenbauer tried to get past. But at the end of the first lap, it was Moffenbauer followed by Jacob Hayes, defending champ Cole Thompson. And there go a couple of other riders as they stream through the six-pack that they went through triple on. As I came around the second lap, I was facing the wrong way with the camera, and as you can see Steve Beattie looking behind me. That is for Cole Thompson, who crashed into and with Jacob Hayes. They both went down, Hayes suffering a shifter problem, Thompson with a dislocated thumb that would take him out of the race. Moffenbauer came through with a substantial lead early in the race, followed by number 787, that's Josh Osby, who had some contact off the start and had a terrible start having to move up through the pack. Dylan Wright had number 338, that's Ryan Surratt behind him, with rookie pro Casey Keese having a fantastic moto. Hayes, you can see back in the pack there, coming through some other riders. And here comes, that's early leader, 223, Jonah Brittens. He would have a solid day, but could not stay up with the leaders. When they came around again, it was Josh Osby who found himself out front, followed pretty closely by Sean Moffenbauer as he tried to make this a great race. Then the battle for third continued between Wright and Surratt. He tried to find some smooth inside lines. That's Bobby Piazza up, number 637. He had a good day. And there is intermediate rider, that's Tanner Ward. He would have a good day, but suffered troubles later on. He was riding up in the top six as he heads in through the six-pack. Here comes Josh Osby, who has been looking forward to these softer tracks in the east, and he's proving that he is definitely capable on this type of track, as Moffenbauer came around closely behind him. Flat tire for Davey Fraser, saw him struggling, but he would finish the moto. And there goes 384, that's Jeremy Pronovo. Jacob Hayes with shifter trouble, had some trouble staying up with the leaders, but he would finish the race. As Surratt still tries to chase down Dylan Wright. Late in the moto, it was Moffenbauer on the rear wheel of Osby. There's Bobby Piazza, who would finish in the 5th place. And as the riders come through the tricky, the ruts were growing, and the ruts would actually dip into some of the tree ruts, making them extra difficult. And there's transmission troubles that would stop Tanner Ward from finishing. But at the end, it was 787 until it was found that he jumped on the red cross flag with a 5 position penalty. Moffenbauer would take the lead, take the win, and there is Dylan Wright crossing the finish line. Here's a look at the Moto 1 results with the correction after the penalty. When the first MX1 Moto blasted off the line, it looked as though number 3, Local Boy, Captain Benoit might take the whole shot, but it was number 10, 4-time champion Colt Fasciotti who would take the whole shot and the early lead. As we come through the six-pack, that is Fasciotti followed by Benoit, that's Epstein, Gerke, there's Mike Alessi, there's Christophe Pourcel, and then Tyler Medaglia, who would be up with the leaders early, but would have some troubles that would keep him back in 10th spot by the end of the race. As he came around, there it goes, there is Fasciotti and Benoit, followed by Epstein. There's Matt Gerke, the points leader with the red plates, heading through, trying to negotiate some of these tricky ruts, tricky lines, fast. There goes Alessi and Pourcel. Christophe Pourcel using some of his veteran knowledge to find some smooth lines. And that's number 776. That's Ryan Dowd up for one race here with his dad, legendary John Dowd, working as his mechanic. The big jumps, there's the tabletop overtop of the single that will keep the crowd lining the fences, the new fences they put up for this event. There goes Colton Fasciotti. Here comes number 108, Dylan Epstein, who would have a decent first moto, but he has been struggling with some setup and some mechanical issues. And there's Fasciotti, leading Local Boy, Kevin Benoit. This is actually on his father's property here, this track, that they got ready for this race since Alderton was canceled. Epstein, followed by Gerke, who has 377, Christophe Pourcel, and Mike Alessi trying to find every inch of smooth track he can. Epstein had Gerke all over him and would succumb to the pressure. And there's Pourcel trying to find another extra line there on the inside. Colton Fasciotti would grab the win in the first moto. Nice whip over the finish line for the crowd. Big cheers for number 3, Kevin Benoit, who would finish second. Third would go to number 2, that's Matt Gerke, the current points leader. And here's a look at your Moto 1 results. Second MX2 Moto got underway as riders came flying through. That's Josh Osby, who made up for his bad first Moto start with the whole shot as riders swung around and a bunch of riders went down. One almost went through the fence and into the crowd. It was a close moment as a bunch of riders picked themselves up and head back out on the track. Coming around the first lap, it's Josh Osby, followed by a great start now by Jacob Hayes, number 100, Moffenbauer. And there we have Surratt. There goes Dylan Wright. Other riders file through. And there's Cole Thompson, bandaged up his sore thumb, dislocated thumb, put it in a glove and tried to ride. Would, however, actually come dislocated again on the second lap. He would salvage 7th place as he soldiered through it. Had to have been a tough battle. There we go, there's Moffenbauer, Surratt, and Dylan Wright, 21. That's Davey Fraser. He had defending champ Cole Thompson behind him, 327, and there's 223. There goes Casey Keese on the stall of the day, Dylan Lalonde, and number 384, Jeremy Pronovo would have a seizure issue and go flying, and luckily was uninjured as the riders came through the ever-deepening ruts. And you can see them actually coming in contact with the roots, making them really tricky to negotiate. And there go your leaders flying through the rhythm section. There's Dylan Wright, Jacob Hayes. Dylan Wright follows there. Heading into the six-pack. The top 3 riders will separate themselves a little bit. With Hayes having a good race, he had Dylan Wright right behind him. Dylan Wright flying along. There goes Surratt trying to stick with him and trying to make the pass. In the end, it was Josh Osby who took the win, followed closely by Sean Moffenbauer. And here's a look at your Moto 2 results. And there you have your overalls. Now we are going to head off to Truro, Nova Scotia at the Pleasant Valley track. Here's a look at your MX2 standings. Cole Thompson with a 2-point lead now as we head into round 7. MX1 Moto 2 blasted off, and it was number 3, local boy Kevin Benoit, who had the crowd thrilled by grabbing the whole shot and the early lead, followed by first Moto winner Colton Faziati. When they came around, you can see some of that local knowledge grabbing some different lines there for Kevin Benoit, as he had Pourcel behind him, and Gerke and Faziati in a tight battle for third. Then came Cade Clayson, and in the top 10, that's 262. That's Jesse Wentland making another appearance here, his second of the season, as Benoit goes through the tricky section that would later claim him. And Pourcel gets it nice and sideways, drifting around there. An excursion for Mike Alessi into the woods would put him coming from last place all the way back up to 7th. Kevin Benoit into the sand section with Pourcel behind him. Gerke still had Colton Faziati all over him as the top 4 would gap the rest of the field and put on quite the show for the big crowd. There goes Cade Clayson, who was up in 5th. And then they came around and it was Pourcel who had the lead ahead of Benoit as they came through lap traffic. Kevin would put some more pressure on as they went through the 6-pack triple section. Pourcel, and then Gerke got around for 2nd place as Benoit on his rear wheel, followed closely by number 10, Colton Faziati in 4th. Pourcel, Gerke, Benoit, Faziati. And Tyler Medaglia found himself with his teammate, number 111, Kyle Chisholm, right behind him, as Wentland shows how to properly get through some lap traffic. Getting back, it was the same 4 top riders. He would gap his butt. Faziati would come around by himself, and it turned out Benoit would go down hard and hurt his ribs and be actually taken to the hospital, so he was out for the day. Dave Clayson, 5th, 6th was Kyle Chisholm, and there goes the win for Pourcel. 2nd place would go to number 2, that's Matt Gerke, followed by Colton Faziati with his 1-3. That would give him the overall. Here's a look at your Moto 2 results. Pourcel, Gerke, and Faziati. And your overall for the day. Faziati, Pourcel, and Gerke are your top 3. Now look at your point standings as we head to round 7 at Pleasant Valley.